me an imposter or something here to sit there and say the word that starts with D.
Well, the ball gets pushed forward once again. We've returned to neutrality as this ball almost gets back into the net once again. Almost a repeat of what happened in the last game before we had to restart. TEMPOH with 50 going into the middle once again due to a little touch. REZEARS drops it down low. Looking for a second touch. Just a bit of a giveaway though.
That's not too bad. I just fancied the bump there. Was just given a small second here and hoping to see clatter and bang, and that would have been some kind of swift movement here as Noah. Again, the transitional play in terms of moving with the counteracting is, well, how can we say it? If there was a Premiership team that maybe in red might want to take a few lessons here, because frankly, it hasn't been as good, but it hasn't been as bad either.
REZEARS trying to showcase what he can do with those flip resets. He's done so before, but TEMPOH just doesn't care. Goes for the ego challenge. What you have to do is on those flip resets. Because you know the second REZEARS gets space and time, he's going to be the most lethal player on this field probably. But NOAHSAKI wants a bit of control for himself right now.
Youngsters, ego challenges, that's... Yeah. Back in the day, it used to be called challenging it.
Well, they couldn't challenge this ball in time as LUIISP does it by himself. They drag on all the way right. May have actually helped him out with the touch he got to 50. Just not going his favor, leading to the goal. And it's a 1-0.
Just like that. One goal to the better. What a restart itself, and it will be a potential equaliser here, but a soft touch. Not necessarily ideal in the slightest here, but again, when the last game itself was so equally poised at one point, you can just know that goals will occur here. LUIISP and Noah will be in tandem here, but no boost, no options, and we'll just have a bit of clarity where everybody is at the moment.
Block going on high. You need a low for REZEARS. That's probably the one thing you don't want to do right now. Ball into the middle. Once again, LUIISP wasn't in the right direction though. But still has the control, still has the time, still has the patience to force TEMPOH into him. This ball going into the hands of REZEARS, looking for a second touch, gets it past right, but not in the right way, but it doesn't matter. He still gets it middle. NOAHSAKI dropping it straight on down. There is LUIISP, and there's the second one.
I would say that is a tad bit shocking. The defence there to scramble away, diabolical in that regards, but the accuracy itself needs to be much better. Gets away with a double. But again, his experience somewhat slipping on through here. 2 to the better. Unfortunately, they might be fancying 3 already.
Right. Blowing it down, gets flip. LUIISP into the corner though. EMILVALD. Can't get a good touch out of it anyway, but still looking to follow it through. NOAHSAKI to the side. Not the touch you wanted, but still gets a hit up. TEMPOH can't follow it through either. Everyone is just blocking each other off. No one really allowing each other any space. Maybe this is the time for EMILVALD to show what he can do. Balance into the middle, there's TEMPOH, but still NOAHSAKI blocking it off. Too quick for anyone to handle.
That's one removed off the pitch here. TEMPOH. It's a decent slice in terms of cutting down the possession space itself here. Another barking bit of fireworks here. We're about 3 days too late for the show and tell. The happiest of all new year of 2024 itself here. There is more explosions here and there, but unfortunately if you're in the UK, we were unfortunately greeted by "We'll never give you up."
EMILVALD looking maybe for some firework in his mechanical skill right now, but this ball has to be pushed to the side again. And we see the thing that we saw in the last series as well. What happened to Belly Goal happens right now to Lego as well. You are not able to break free from your own half. And the times you do, it's not a good chance either. It's just you're being pushed back time and time again.
We are quite literally going from the classics back from the 60s into the 80s here, from Can't Break 3, Under Pressure. We are certainly looking for Queen right now to step up and move everywhere in any direction to get away from the problem itself. It is pressure and the continuation of one post here of creeping on through. 2-0 under the minute still.
How long can these Lego pieces hold down the brick wall that is the defense right now? They eventually escape, and this one to the middle could be dangerous, but still pushed away. Fry gives it away to NOAHSAKI though. Hit up into the air, and probably gonna be an offensive push once again, unless NOAHSAKI can get a goal out of it right away into the hands of REZEARS.
Well, they make the looking for something a bit more here, the Lego. We have, of course, toy sets and box sets. Unfortunately, we're not in terms of having a classic in itself. In this regards here, the second game, it has been stale somewhat. Needs, of course, to freshen up the attack. But the defense has been somewhat oppressive since conceding the second goal, but it could easily could have been 3 or 4 at one point. Tempo straight down to the 20 here, and I would say at this point here, a great clarity is now in terms of poise to a tied 1-1 series.
1-1 will be the score, but maybe one more goal to take home for either one of these two teams.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a feel-good goal, you know? Just to be like, okay, I see we can still find back of the net, because it's been a bit goalless for like most of this game, to be honest. We saw 2 quick goals at the start, and then just a good offensive pressure, but never really a final goal to push it through from REZEARS. So even though it's a 2-0 win, which is very clean, very nice, what you want to see, it could have been more.
Easily. And that's the bit when, especially when you're a side so dominant in terms of, most people look at pressure in terms of how you have the ball. It's also how you control the pitch as well too. And frankly that they were able to move it across. But like that was outstanding. But what was maybe something to look at, and it could be a minor thing, is of course LUIISP was 6, REZEARS 2, and NOAH nothing. Of course, one of the players on that particular hit is having a bit of an issue, so they are presumed naturally adjusting. But look, when you're playing that well and clamping down everything, you don't need to worry.
Definitely, and I think the thing is with the statistics of shots on target, sometimes gets a bit blurred in the lines, because let's be honest, yes, you saw 6 shots coming out from LUIISP, also 2 goals to be fair, but the big thing to note is that was just shots to keep offensive pressure. Not every shot is there to get a goal. Sometimes it's just to force your enemy and to stick onto the offense.
Then to see whether there is enough within the chamber.
That is so unfortunate. Oh my goodness, the touchdown. I mean, gladly it's not a touchdown, we're in the wrong sport for that, but still, the ball gets pushed down by the enemy and it's just back into your own net.
Well, thankfully we're on the wrong continent for that. We were blessed a long time ago. The great man himself, Stacks, would be calling that particular 9-letter words, but that is not the case. However, one, I suppose if you want to be unkind, say on goal. Redirected on in here. It's Tempo looking to remove it. EMILVALD with 1 shot blocked. It goes here. Will the attack continue? No, not at all. This is now becoming one side playing checkers and chess, and that's goal number 2.
Well, you complained about the shooting, Danny. How's 2 for 1? 2 goals, only 1 shot on the score sheet. LUIISP going forward. Of course. The old man always has something to complain about, but nothing to complain about right now for REZEARS. Again, a 2-0 lead. And again, a position to do what they're good at. Just finish off the series with no goals for the enemies.
That will be goal number 3.
Yeah, just feed it into LUIISP. How's 3 for 1, Danny? That better?
It's getting there.
Oh, it's getting there, of course, but LUIISP must be happy. Hat-trick hero within a minute. This one was maybe fed a bit by NOAHSAKI, but I mean, you gotta take what you can get. And right now, it seems that REZEARS is getting a whole lot of goals.
Joe, what a problem to have.
Yeah.
Literally being the front man, being given that much service, and you know. Why does this have to be the last one?
Right? Dropping it back low. Can't get a second touch himself. It's EMILVALD. Going to the side. Second touch himself gets into the middle once more. REZEARS can't break free right now. And maybe getting a bit of a payback moment right now as Lego finally gets some offensive pressure. As I say, NOAHSAKI transitioning with the flip reset. Shot on target. EMILVALD gets it away.
Tempo. He had 1 touch here and has eventually ended up into the REZEARS pathway. don't necessarily lean to be breaking right through here, as everything has been closed up and frankly bordered completely off here. 2 minutes to be trailing by 3 is not too bad in terms of you're looking to get a comeback here. As desperate times call for desperate measure here, as REZEARS should get a touch on it, but no. Votes rejected here. LUIISP will unfortunately ruin the shooting record on a hopeless ball.
It's still 3-2, Danny. Still better than anything we're bringing out so far. But it could have been more. It could have been better. As this ball gets pushed to the side once again, NOAHSAKI slowing it down. Good little fake. Tries to force it through, but actually misses the ball on the second touch. As TEMPOH messes up his own teammate, and now you have to go back into your own defensive half. And EMILVALD trying to waste time. It's into the hands of NOAHSAKI. Shot onto TEMPOH.
Back into the middle here. TEMPOH, who has be first, was credited quite nicely by Spooks here, and he has done a defensive work here, but can you sort of sit here and say it's been a good job when you've been beaten so early, mentally and sort of physically, because you know you have to come back and score 3 goals without conceding. That there is mentally just draining in terms of a series and a competition itself.
Especially if you just can't get onto the offense right now and can't get any good offensive opportunities. As RXII misses the ball right there, can't get a follow through either with the bumps. This ball getting high by TEMPOH. Into the hands of RXII, but a bit of a mistouch. Back to maybe TEMPOH and EMILVALD, but they can't get anything for it either. And RXII with 0 boost has to try and make something out of it as NOAHSAKI gets it into the middle. This could be another goal, but LUIISP gets blocked off this time around.
There's an air dribble, but it's going so far wide. Wayward here. Remember the last shot Spooks and I casted, I thought maybe it was creeping on out slightly and I needed new glasses. Perhaps RXII is on similar footing off the wall here. Milled with 1 shot. REZEARS should be getting this one comfortably and follow suit. Well, not necessarily, but they have been demoed here in TEMPOH. Somehow he has got a play into the box here, but not necessarily a goal scoring, not a threat either. 60 odd seconds, and frankly, I would say comfortably, we're talking now 1 game away from qualifying to the grand final.
LUIISP slows it down once again. EMILVALD can't do much with this, has to slow it down himself and actually regain some control. No help coming out either as NOAHSAKI brings it into the middle. There's LUIISP once again. You don't want to give this man time. And luckily enough, TEMPOH was in the right spot at the right time. It's RXII going for that solo play, going for the ceiling shot, looking for the musty, but can't get it past the defense of REZEARS.
You know when you just know when it's not your day?
When REZEARS is saving those types of shots as well?
Well, at that point there, you just, put your controller away, head to your bed, and, cry yourself
to
sleep.
LUIISP, leave him alone. The man has a family. NOAHSAKI finishes it off, but LUIISP, he was out for blood, to be honest.
LUIISP has simply transformed and transcended this game here. Then he was playing chess earlier, now he's playing like Pac-Man. Waka Waka eats anything in front of him, or at least try to. In the next 4-5 seconds here, we're now talking about 5 minutes away, and it's a funny old game this sometimes when you come out and perform quite well and suddenly get shut down 2 consecutive games. What do you do next?
What can you do next? Because clearly the only strategy that's really working so far has been score first and then just run with it, because that's the only way to, at least so far we've seen, to beat NOAHSAKI, because otherwise they just lock you out. They just don't allow anything to happen to them.
And this is sort of the point where you look at it in terms of an analytical side of it. We can break it down even further. It just goes from bad to worse to even just ugly, because there is no positive to take away from it. Because if you can't get the ball, there's an issue. If you can't get out defensively, there's a problem. And the question is how long can you hold out for? The question in that regards is how many saves can TEMPOH pull out? And the answer was only 2 in over 5 minutes.
The big problem here is also that NOAHSAKI is playing a quite simple playstyle in a certain sense. They always have someone back in the right spot, but they're reading the gameplay so well that it makes it very hard to break through it, because they're always trying to read and be where the ball's probably going to end up being. On the other end, for Lego, that means that you just have to try and do something either unexpected or be so quick that you can get past them. But both of those options are not going to work all the time, so that just means that you're locked in when they are able to just read you.
Yeah, and The only way in terms, and not to be cliche, there is a few ways of dealing with it. One is for the demo side of it, with the physicality hasn't been there. But when you don't have the space or the position to demo, when you're defending so much of the pitch here, when you can see the ball being moved around, you can't do much either. So the only thing you can do when you get it is the force of 50 and try to have a second man follow. That hasn't happened either. So again, that's the problem. How do you minimize the something that doesn't exist? What a paradox this particular series is for this side in Orange that the Lego side has found themselves in.
And the worst part is with the demos, if you don't succeed at getting that demo, you're just leaving your teammates alone to deal with the defensive half. But so far they're onto the offense, and Rai from the ceiling dropping it down for himself, showing that he's capable of scoring first.
The boat tag. We've been sitting here quite comfortably at that too, writing them off. And you just look at it and you're sort of going, what do you have the offer? We've been sitting here trying to say, what's next? Well, it's essentially a kick-off goal, a little bit more of a +1 to it, and we near enough had a second one here, but that was essentially, to an extent, the opening game as well too, where we saw the 2-0 lead that was sliced to nothing, and then became a scramble at near enough what we could say in golden goal territory.
One bit of hope right now coming out for Lego. They have to hold on to this, or maybe extend it if possible. Because you know how hard REZEARS is going to be handling this to come back into the game. They've done so before, and they're going to do it again. That's EMILVALD. Takes it slow, takes it under control, tries to bait out LUIISP, and does so wonderfully. Now bait out REZEARS, 4-50 into the middle. Once again we go. Rai, not the touch you would have wanted, and TEMPOH was too far away. Now you have to be careful. Going on to the transition is NOAHSAKI.
And that's at least a bit of defensive work being held. TEMPOH should be lobbing this one cross, and it is a dangerous idea as LUIISP. Are you willing to play against the Spanish bull in terms of speed? Well, he was. And this time they did win it, but you cannot rely on it far too often here, as he will eventually win the battle and the war. And this one's going all the way backwards. We've been here before.
LUIISP into the hands of Rai, but he gives it away to REZEARS. Once again, a little bit of a gifting season. Christmas has already been passed, boys. You can keep on going right now and keep the ball to yourself as NOAHSAKI. That's exactly that. Slowing the play down, gives it to LUIISP, who can continue to play on further, but gets blocked off by TEMPOH. Could lead to something dangerous. Rai onto the wall. One pass into the middle is all you need, but NOAHSAKI read it.
Talk about having presence. We will be seeing a gift here, surely, and that's a save and a half here. One little play into it, back into the middle though. Dangers lurking here at TEMPOH once again, finding himself at the right spot at the right time here. LUIISP. There's just something about this man where if you were learning the game for the first time, so to say, he might be one to watch for.
I wouldn't like to learn it from LUIISP though, because you just see someone like him move around, you think like, how am I ever going to be able to do that? How am I ever going to follow that through? Because he just does everything so smoothly, but the same can be said for this man right now. Rai, look at show up himself, gets a pass one, but can't use the flip into the hands of TEMPOH. One touch is needed for it to go middle, but NOAHSAKI was on the backboard, read it perfectly. And now under control once again, flip reset is coming, can he continue it? No boost in the tank.
Well, I can answer, how would you learn to do that so easily?
Tons of hours spent into the game.
No, actually.
Please enlighten us, Danny.
Well, if you are interested in getting better to be almost as good as LUIISP, alright, of course, head up at SpooksCast, of course, on Twitter to be taught the game as well too. He doesn't like being plugged or sold out here. He just deserves a shout at the RXII season itself, and Psycho, the man with the shot himself, waiting in the grand final. He can do it too. Well, he used to, that's why he ended up as a caster though.
But he can't make it as a player, this is where he ended up. Danny is definitely aware of that himself. As this ball goes into the middle once again, NOAHSAKI takes it slow, takes it under control, has to flip, has to flick, but it's a bit too high. Right to the side once more. REZEARS, not the 50 he would have liked.
Well, looks like it. 50s or 100s, when you end up with nothing, you just might as well look at the ground and kick the rock that stands there. As Emil, with that 1-goal lead here, they've been far from kicking and screaming. They've been holding on though, at least at that, but REZEARS, he sees a gap. It's like pins. The bullet alley's waiting to be cleared here. The strike or a spare will do, but they haven't got the connection here. One little skip by Noah, up it goes. Blaster this one across here. But when LUIISP says he wants the ball, you don't have a say in it, you just give it to him.
You give it to him, but now TEMPOH has the control, gets the flick, gets the shot. LUIISP onto his own corner. Last couple of seconds. He needs to be quick though with this transition, but can't get it past the EMILVALD, who blocks him off and tries to get another 50 here going. Bump as well, but into the hands of REZEARS, so we could get the transition going. REZEARS, one hit down to NOAHSAKI, and the goal has been found. 12 seconds left though.
Pure and utter frustration. TEMPOH looks like went for the boost, but had at least some positional play to it. Emil was tracking all the way back though. When you have a one-goal lead, when you have the situation, you've got to be aware defensively. That's a lack of experience somewhat there, and I'm just going to say it, Mayday. Man from Ireland should know about scrappy defending. That's their coach here. He will be disappointed with that, to say the least here. OT, where we head? Will it be survival or continuation?
Of course, the Man United fan is talking about scrappy defense. As REZEARS goes into the air, wants to show a bit of flashy offense, but gets blocked by EMILVALD, who gets touched short once again. Into the hands of RXII. Not past LUIISP though, into the hands of TEMPOH, who does have control, who does have time, who does have the flick and the shot, but NOAHSAKI pushed it away.
What a flick. What a flick that was. But can he do it again on a rainy and cold night in Stoke though? As Emil, up it goes, straight down, and it may be a passing option. REZEARS. Well, he is looking, lurking, prodding, searching, and Noah, well, there is a collision, but it will be taken away here. LUIISP, well, he's just trying to dodge and weave there, ducking for cover. Well, he's not needing cover, he sees the target, he's toying with him now, but cannot put it away.
NOAHSAKI into the middle, but no one there to finish the shot. And REZEARS has to scroll back into his own corner. EMILVALD not really getting any challenge out of this though. REZEARS can continue this offensive push, maybe into the middle, look for a bump of TEMPOH. TEMPOH gets the control and a touch back into the hands of LUIISP. Maybe the one man you don't want to see have control right now because he's so dangerous, but it gets taken away.
There's half a second, Gus Spooks was referring to me there. Wild and dangerous play. Unfortunately, not very good here. Thankfully, LUIISP was the player in question as RXII. Likewise too, but taken away from it.
Open.
Here he is!
The man of the hour! He shall not miss! And he's back once again. LUIISP getting his goal, making the 2-1, getting his team to the grand final.
Fabulous performance. The Lego enjoyers were showing at least a bit of dignity in terms of the series performance. We said that what they couldn't do was find a goal. They got the goal. They should have brought that into a game 5. They didn't. They're out.
That's how quickly it can go, Danny. You can go from the heroes to the losers quite quickly if you do not finish off those games where you're in the lead. Sadly enough, that was the last time they could play in here, but we have one more team who's already in the grand final and just lies and waiting. It is REZEARS. An incredible job though, because they every single time they were in lead, they looked incredible. Every time they were back and behind, they looked insane as well because they always crawled their way back.
They certainly do, and I'm just having a sort of cheeky look here on the Rocket Baguette stream, the other semi-final. Kate Upshot and Rise Fox themselves 2 to the better. They have been a little bit questionable at times, but they've just got the lead in game 3 as well too. So 2 forces that are dominating, strong. So I'm going to put you on the spot, Spooks. Who wins the grand final if it's those 2?
I have to give it to REZEARS right now. I think the second they get into the lead, they're just a stronger team, better than anyone else at the moment.
Well, you're going to have my opinion right after this break. We'll see you in this grand final. Comes soon.